Hi, and welcome to 10 Minutes on Topic. I'm Autumn Labbe-Renault. Today's topic concerns voter accessibility in Yolo County, and we'll learn more about efforts to improve such accessibility from Maria Coronel, who is the outreach specialist for Yolo County's assessor, clerk recorder, and elections office. Welcome, Maria. Thanks for joining us.
A pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So you reached out to me a few months ago with news of an effort to address a variety of voter accessibility issues with regards to voting here in Yolo County. And as I understand it, there are two committees that have emerged as part of this process, the Voter Accessibility Advisory Committee and the Language Accessibility Advisory Committee. So please tell us more about how this effort came to be.
Yes, about 4 months ago or so, during summertime, we started working on reaching out to community members within the Yolo County and throughout the state of California to seek their advice and request for them to join us in this effort. Um, as a result of that, in September, we were able to successfully establish two committees, both the Language Advisory Committee and the Voting Accessibility Advisory Committee. And we currently have approximately 6 members for each committee. And both committees have as a purpose advising or register voters in matters related to improving the voting experience for all Yolo County voters, but especially for those who are having or are experiencing accessibility issues due to language barriers or disabilities. With that said, we are currently having committee meetings every month. As a matter of fact, we will have our committee meetings this Thursday. Meetings
Mhm.
are held the third Thursday of every month. The Language Accessibility Advisory Committee is scheduled to begin from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. and the Border Accessibility Advisory Committee is scheduled to take place from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. These are all committees that are being made out of voters who are Yolo County residents and California
Mhm.
voters who have become advocates for these issues.
Right. Now, was the Voters' Choice Act part of the impetus driving this greater accessibility initiative?
That is correct. Thanks to the California Secretary of State's office and the Voters' Choice Act, it was made very clear that our voters needed to have a say when it came down to establishing the best voter assistance centers for,
Mhm.
or as we used to call them, polling places, so that
Right.
voters will come and have the best voting experience. Because of the Voters' Choice Act, here within Yolo County, we are currently required to have 13 voter assistance centers, which, by the way, because of the Voter Choice Act, we have extended the voting period for early voting access. And so, with
Mhm.
that said, these centers or voter assistance centers will provide not just a greater um, service to our voters because of the facilities being more accessible, but also
Mhm.
because they are strategically located throughout the county in areas where voters have better access to these new centers.
I see. So later today, I'm actually interviewing County Supervisor Don Saylor about redistricting, and I understand that that's also another factor that's impacting this work. Can you tell us a bit more?
Yes, that is correct. There have been redistricting efforts going on, and as a result of these, we are currently collaborating and ensuring that voters throughout Yolo County have not just the ability to vote, but also equal representation and access, especially when it comes down to voter assistance centers. And as a result of that, we transitioned from the original polling place model to a voter assistant model, which is more encompassing. These voter assistance centers are larger and also
Mhm.
allow for social distancing. As a result of COVID, we have to be very vigilant about that. And we are working diligently to ensure that the safety of our voters and poll workers, it's our main priority. And one of the things that resulted from the Voter Choice Act and the redistricting efforts
Mhm.
is that we transitioned from over 100 polling places within Yolo County to uh, 13 voter assistance centers throughout the county.
Right, right. I know you wanted to talk about the recruitment for both committees, and also for what you told me was diverse poll worker recruitment efforts. So let's take a minute to talk about those. I'd imagine if you're someone who is dealing with any kind of disability or need for accommodation, it's pretty important to see people who look like you or sound like you at a voter assistance center. So tell us a bit more about who you're looking for to help round out these committees.
Yes, here in Yolo County, we are very proactive in ensuring that voters are represented. And one of the
Hmm.
major efforts that we're undertaking right now is representing voters who have English as a second language. And because
Hmm.
of these, they are in need of special bilingual support sometimes or accessing voting materials in different languages. We also want to make sure that we have poll workers that are representative of these communities. So we are encouraging anybody of the Asian community, the Hispanic community, the Russian community, the Punjabi community. Those are the communities that Yolo County voters are mostly underrepresented, to please join us in our efforts to become poll workers. Um, we are not required by law to provide we're not federally mandated to provide language support in these. However, we know the need is there because our population
Hmm.
of voters have this need. So if you are of Russian speaking background, Spanish speaking background, Punjabi speaking background, um, and also Korean or Chinese especially, we encourage you to apply. With that said, we also are undertaking um, the major um, challenge per se to recruit poll workers who are also representative of our voters with disabilities. As I always
Hmm.
say, disabilities are not always visual, so we have to make sure that our voters are represented regardless of their disability. If somebody, for
Right.
example, is in need of uh, ASL language support, or somebody
Hmm.
needs to have um, access to special voting devices such as or touch
Right.
writer, which provides support to those who are visually impaired. We do have the equipment. We also want to have someone who is familiar with their special needs. And so, if
Right.
you are someone who is part of this population, we encourage you to please step in and help us.
So there's a place for people to get involved. Just
Most
a reminder.
definitely.
Yeah. Just a reminder to viewers, we do have elections coming up here in Yolo County in both June and November next year. You can learn more. We've got the URL up. You can learn more at yoloelections.org. And as Maria told us earlier, there will be 13 voter assistance centers spread throughout the county to help underscore and augment this effort. So I've been speaking with Maria Coronel, outreach specialist for Yolo County Elections, and I thank you very much for joining us and sharing this important information. You've been watching 10
No,
Minutes on Topic. I'm Autumn Labbe-Renault.